What up, guys? Bad dog. Always Giants Mafia. So, we had football last night. We all waited a long time for the football season to start. We had to wait an extra 45 or so minutes because God wanted to rain on the Eagles parade. That's kind of what I figured. God let him win a Super Bowl, but we all know how God feels about the Eagles. So he's like, you know what? Let me delay this banner raising just a little bit longer so that they have to wait a little bit longer. I was getting impatient myself. I just wanted to see some damn football. But I thought that game was horribly played. I discussed it on my live stream a number of times last night. It felt like another preseason game. The officiating with all the flags, man. I mean, it is just a sloppy, boring, it was a hard to watch. I wouldn't say boring per se. Hard to watch with all the penalties. Just a really hard game to watch. Neither team impressed me one bit. I mean, they all looked out of sync. And again, a lot of it's because they don't play all the preseason snaps. They don't play the preseason games. They don't practice like they used to. So teams are usually rusty out of the box. I didn't expect them to both be that rusty. I thought early in the game, the Falcons absolutely dominated the first half. And I mentioned this a bunch of times too, that they've left so many points on the board. The Falcons are a very poorly coached team, all the way around. Dan Quinn, especially Sarkisian, he's terrible. He is horrible. When you get down there in the first drive of the game, I know it's 4th and goal from the 1. You kick the field goal. You're on the road. You take the points. Because as soon as you don't score the touchdown, you give the Eagles a bunch of momentum. Now, it took them a little bit longer to get going. But still, you have to take the points there. Matt Ryan threw a terrible interception in the red zone. I mean, that was a horrible pick. Julio Jones, even though I believed it was a catch, dropped the pass that Matt Ryan actually put right in his hands. That was on Julio Jones, in my opinion. But listen, at the end of the day, the Falcons do what they do best. They can't close out a team, and they certainly don't know how to come from behind and win a team. I mentioned this last night, too. That game was a carbon copy of last year's NFC divisional playoff between these two teams. The Falcons had numerous chances to get away from the Eagles and couldn't do it. And I kept saying I got a bad feeling about it. They left the points on the board there. They missed an extra point. Matt Ryan threw the interception. Like I said, inside the red zone. Constantly targeting Julio Jones. Coleman was wide open on the last play. You have to get away from throwing a damn ball to Julio Jones. And another thing I'm going to say about Matt Ryan, because we all know Matt Ryan is a notorious choker. He don't know how to win a big game. Not that this was a big game. It was a season opener, but it was a primetime game. He doesn't have a winning pedigree. He just doesn't. And one thing I've noticed, because I don't watch a lot of Falcons games, obviously, but one thing I definitely noticed about this guy, and I talked about the completions percentage before, how is this higher? Because he plays in a controlled environment 9 games a year. He plays 8 at home in the Dome in Georgia. He plays 1 in the Superdome in New Orleans. Sometimes he might play more, but he's 9 games in a controlled environment. So that's going to raise his statistics a little bit more as far as completion percentage go, because he's not battling the elements. But Matt Ryan refuses to throw the ball away. He'd rather take a sack than take an incompletion. This dude needs to get his head out of you-know-where and learn to throw the ball away when there's pressure. Get out of the pocket. Toss the ball away, man. How many sacks did he take in that last drive? And it's exactly why they lost the Super Bowl to the Patriots. Because instead of throwing it away, he took a sack. He's not smart. He's not a smart quarterback. I'll tell you that right now. And like I said, he doesn't have a winning pedigree at all. At all. I give the Eagles credit for winning that ugly, sloppy game because that's what champions do. World champions, and I hate having to say that term, but it's the truth. World champions will find a way to win an ugly game like that. They didn't have their best stuff. Like a pitcher, sometimes a pitcher don't have his best stuff, but he'll battle for 6 innings, and he'll give you everything he's got, and he keeps your team in the game, and they end up winning. That's what the Eagles did last night. They did not look good at all first half. Nick Foles looked terrible. Their offensive line didn't do much at all. Their defense looked good. Part of that, I think, is the Falcons' offense. But at the same time, they found a way to win. And that's what champions do. And then on the other side, you got teams like the Falcons who are notorious chokers, who've never won anything, and they found a way to lose that game. That is exactly what I saw there last night. It was good to have football back. I would have liked a much better game than I watched, but I'm not going to complain. Like I said, I was happy to have the football back. But I think me and a lot of guys in the live stream last night were discussing at one point, there was more penalties than points. That's not, the NFL's got to do something about the penalties. I know there was a couple roughing the passer calls in Atlanta, the guy's driving his weight into the quarterback. What is a 330-pound defensive end supposed to do when he's got the quarterback and he's bringing him to the ground? He can't let him up when he's already on the way down. I thought the Falcons got hosed on a couple calls, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, they got nobody to blame but themselves. The lack of execution, leaving the points on the board, and the poor coaching. To me, that's what cost the Falcons that game. And Matt Ryan. I don't think Matt Ryan will ever be a winner. I just don't. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. He's not a winning quarterback. There is a difference. There's a lot of guys that have great pedigree and have great numbers, but they're not winners. And I think Matt Ryan falls into that category. But whatever. This is just how I feel about it. And real quick, I definitely want to give a shout out to Sports Fury and Terrabelli as well. Terrabelli, all of a sudden in my live stream, I didn't know what this is because I do live streams, I've never seen this happen, where I kept seeing hashtag TBellyRaid. I'm like, what does that mean? I don't even know what that means. And then Terrabelli said, it's me, Terrabelli, and I still didn't know what it meant. Then all of a sudden, like a couple minutes later, I saw a Sports Fury raid where there was a bunch of people that came into the stream, and I was like, oh, they sent them over to my live stream. So again, I just want to thank you guys a lot for sending all those people my way and sending the traffic my way, man. That was awesome of you guys to do that. I really, really appreciate that a lot. I got to, actually, now I'm thinking about it, I'm probably going to email you guys over the weekend or get in touch with you because, me, Sports Fury and myself are trying to set something up for Tuesday this week. Talk about the Cowboys and Giants because that's obviously going to be a fun game. I really do want to live stream the Giants game this week, but again, I don't know what's going on with that. But definitely a week from Sunday when we play the Cowboys, I'm live streaming that game. I will definitely find a way to do that one way or the other because that game has to be live streamed for Bad Dog. Giants, Cowboys, primetime Sunday night, I got to do that game. Have to. So, again, I wanted to thank you guys for all that, and I just wanted to give my opinion on the game last night. Not a big fan of the Falcons right now. Not a big fan. Not at all. So anyway, like I said, world champions, the Eagles, good teams, they find a way to win. Your other teams find a way to lose. That's exactly what happened last night. It's Bad Dog, Giants Mafia, one love, I'm out. Peace!